Now you can't have a delicious pulled pork sandwich without having delicious barbecued pork to start with. You need to develop a beautiful bark with the right amount of smoke and seasoning and let it rest properly so you can have a delicious, juicy, and flavorful sandwich. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but I am back. Today we're going to be smoking a pork butt. Well, I didn't realize I got a boneless pork butt. As you can see here, this is where the bone used to be. That'll be okay because now we're gonna put a bunch of our rub inside. All I really want to do is just smoke this for pulled pork. That's all I really want. With this pork butt, you can apply your favorite rub wherever it is that you want to do. I just happen to be using like my own little creation here. I will link the recipe for the rub down in the description box down below. So it should be like one of these. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I apply the rub to my pork. A pork butt is a really good piece of meat to start out if you're just new into barbecue. There's minimal butchery required, especially if they remove the bone. And the meat to fat ratio makes this a very forgiving cut of meat, so it's very difficult to overcook it. I'm using olive oil as my binder to help the spices and the rub stick on. Some people like using mustard. I've seen people use hot sauce, fish sauce, whatever it is that you want to do. Today I'm just using olive oil. Now without the bone in place, we can add more rub and more spices into the meat. Now we want 100% coverage, including the sides. Now you saw me, I did the bottom side first because the top side is going to be our presentation side. By doing the presentation side last, it's gonna create a nice, beautiful, blemish-free bark. I'll let this pork butt rest on the counter while I go out and get the fire started. This is how I set up my Weber for all of the smoking that I do. So I have some tumbleweeds, I have a chimney of charcoal briquettes, I have lump charcoal. Once the briquettes get hot, I'll pour it on the other side so it does a slow burn. Today I'm using hickory wood. I'm gonna close the lid and let this get up to temperature. Once it hits up around 250, I'm gonna add the pork butt on there with the fattest side facing the coals and then close it and let it sit here for about 2 hours before I open it back up. 2 hours later, I opened up the grill and I repositioned the meat and I'm gonna start spritzing. Now I will spritz every hour on the hour after this, going up to the 6 hour mark, which we are at here. Now I'm going to wrap this up and bump up the heat to about 300, 305 degrees until I reach an internal temperature of 204. Once that hits, I'm gonna let it rest until it gets down to 150 before I start shredding. Now it is important that you keep all of the juices that have leaked out because you want to incorporate that back into the meat as you're shredding. That way you're going to have a very succulent pulled pork. Now the only thing we gotta do next is to give this a try. Look at that bark right there and look how juicy this pork is. You can smell the smoke. That is unreal. You taste everything from the rub. It's perfectly salted with the 2-to-1 black pepper to salt ratio. You can't over salt this thing. The only thing left we have to do is make a sandwich. So off camera, I made a vinegar-based sauce. And I'll link the recipe down in the description box down below. It's super simple. Think like a nice handful will do. Just drop it in there and then come down here. I'll show you how we're gonna dress this sandwich. And this is my pulled pork sandwich. I'm a huge fan of these sport peppers, which I chopped into rings so it's easier to eat. Yes, the same sport peppers you find on a Chicago style hot dog has made its way into my pulled pork sandwich. All right, you guys, take the first bite. I'll give you that corner right there. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. That vinegar sauce comes through, but not too much where all you're tasting is vinegar. The smokiness is there. Absolutely. Well seasoned. The coleslaw provides a nice refreshing bite, while the pickled cabbage and the sport peppers cuts through all the richness. Yes, this is definitely a healthy portion of a delicious sandwich. Definitely smoke yourself a pork butt, follow my recipe, make yourself a beautiful pulled pork sandwich, and enjoy life. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves, get off your butt, cook something, and as always, peace.